Talk about accepting that you might never meet your person or have the type of love that you want. As a holistic therapist and relationship coach, as well as a 32-year-old woman who is single, I have a lot of personal and professional expertise in this area. In my last video, I talked about how for me personally, getting to the point where I was willing to believe and accept that I would someday meet my person was what helped me embrace and enjoy being single more. But there was also a time in my life where the opposite was true. And for a lot of people, the opposite is true. We need to get to the point where we can embrace and accept the fact that we might never meet our person. Why this is important is because it allows us to stop putting our life on hold. And
this whole idea of a person is what keeps women single. There is no person. Just find a guy with all his teeth who has a job, who's willing to put up with your crap and, commit to him and serve him. It's really that simple. Stop watching Netflix. Stop listening to your dingbat friends. Be practical. Just pick a decent guy. Not the perfect guy, not your guy, not the one, not your soulmate, not your spirit animal. Just pick a decent guy and build a life with him. It's really, really, really simple.
Like, is it that hard?
I know it's not rocket science, but it seems like it's pretty difficult for you to figure out.
Ladies, if you're listening, if there's one or two of you listening, never take advice from a woman who doesn't have the life you aspire to have. Taking dating advice from a 30-plus-year-old woman who's still single is like taking financial planning advice from Hammer. It just don't make logical sense.
Waiting to have the life experiences that we want to have until that person comes. It essentially demands that we start to create the life experience that we want to have for ourselves right here and now, because it might be a long time before we meet that person, or they might not come at all, and we still deserve to live a rich, fulfilling, love-filled, amazing life.
And that's what's going to keep you single. These women think Prince Charming is just going to land on their doorstep. If you're 30 plus and single, you need to be actively trying to reach out to guys. You need to be trying to hit guys up and telling them all the great things you could do for them. It's not going to fall in your lap, especially at this age. If you couldn't find it between 18 and 23, you think it's just going to magically pop up after 30 for a woman? This is crunch time if you ever want to find somebody, and we don't believe that you'll ever be okay with not finding somebody. You can tell yourself whatever you want, but this is what they do. They keep lying to themselves so they don't have to actually do the work to actually get a man.
I'm healed. I'm happy. I'm good by myself. Trust me, I'm good. I'm good as fuck by myself. I'm an independent, strong-ass woman.
If I just keep telling myself and convincing myself that I'll be okay if I never find someone, then I can just block it out of my mind and just keep going on trips and keep hanging out with my friends and not think about it. That's the worst thing you could do in this position. You need to be talking to your father, your brothers, trying to get advice, trying to get help, get therapy, trying to do whatever you can, trying to figure out how you can better your wardrobe to attract a man, what kind of hairstyles men like. But they don't feel like they ever have to do anything to get a man because they feel entitled. Men have been disposable to them since they were little. Nothing truly great in this life just falls in your lap, period. It takes work and sacrifice to get all the great things in this life. But women get so many handouts and get treated so good for no good reason that they don't understand these concepts.
What's most important is that you be honest with yourself about whether your self-talk and beliefs are self-defeating or self-empowering. That's what's most important at the end of the day.
They're definitely self-defeating, but you can't tell them nothing, man. Because her whole comment section is telling her how great she is.
That is bullshit.
But look, keep telling yourself whatever you want. Keep putting motivational music behind your stupid videos. Hey, I hope it work out for you. Even though I'm almost certain it won't. Because we've seen this movie over and over and over again. By the time a woman gets to the point where she's a single 30-plus-year-old dating coach on TikTok, it's usually over with.
I was stood up last night. Let's talk about this. Now, I'm no stranger to dating shit. In fact, you could call me an expert in dating experiences, I would say, to be honest, okay? I'm 34 and still single, so if that tells you anything, there you go, okay?
It's pathetic.
Well, at least she's somewhat self-aware. But before I break it down, let me sing our song. Bullring Chronicles, it's the Bullring Chronicles. Well, you 34 years old and you dress like a 14-year-old. So that might be part of your problem. Why you're attracting nonsense, because you look like nonsense. You look ridiculous, so you're attracting ridiculousness.
Grow the fuck up. You're not children anymore.
Is it just me or does she look older than 34? I might be tripping. Let me know in the comment section.
I have been stood up many times before. I have been ghosted. Whatever. I don't give a at this point. I literally don't care.
You ain't got to lie.
But I didn't know they could come up with a new way for standing you up. I have been stood up via text. I've been stood up. I've gone to the restaurant. Nobody showed up.
Listen up. Sometimes life gives you a bad fortune, but you can't let it get you down. You just keep pushing, and everything will turn out just fine. Take it from me, Mr. T.
Look, I'll say this. Okay, I ain't gonna do her that dirty with the steel frame. Let me fix the steel frame. She doing herself dirty enough with how she dressing and the fact that she even on TikTok talking about her personal life. So I won't do her dirty with the steel shot.
You're a good man.
Look, I don't believe in standing people up. I think it's petty, it's childish. I wouldn't advise all you Chads and Tyrones out there to stand women up. It's really cruel and it's hurtful.
I get angry just thinking about it makes me mad.
If I'm gonna condemn it when the thoughts do it, I gotta condemn it when the fellas do it. It just ain't right. But maybe this is God's way of letting her know she need to start dating in her league and stop chasing the top tier dudes. And stop being so shallow and superficial. So that's a lesson that God's trying to teach her. Does this woman really believe she's competing with 23-year-old blonde cheerleader types? She does.
Nonsense.
She really does. And somebody needs to wake her up and maybe she can find somebody. But if nobody has been able to wake her up in 20 years, it's probably not going to happen. But I mean, if you keep failing at something, at what point do you look at yourself and say, what am I doing wrong?
Oh, you could never. You could never. You could never.
Will I ever stop crying over emotionally unavailable men? No. But will I at least stop trying to date them? Also, no.
What do you gain from that?
I've gone to the restaurant, nobody showed up. I've been stood up in very many ways. I've never been stood up in this way. So, everything was going great. Everything was fine. We had a date for yesterday, 7:30, right? Okay. So, he texted me yesterday, and he was like, hey, do you think we can move it to 8? And I was like, yeah, if we have to, no big deal, but I have work Saturday, so, like, the earlier the better. He was like, okay, no problem. Everything's fine. We go to bed. Wake up the next morning. He texts me first at 8 a.m. Good morning! Exclamation point. I text him back. No reply. No big deal. Busy. He's a busy guy. Whatever. 2 o'clock rolls around. I decided to have another text. I don't give a shit about double texting. Let me make that clear, okay? So don't come in the comments being like, well, no. That, okay? I'm not hiding who I am, so.
Yeah, the double texting is cringe. So I can point out that might have scared him off. But look, if you're dealing with a guy who act like he's too busy to date you, you're highly likely to get ghosted or stood up. Even this woman has 100 guys in the inbox who would definitely not stand her up. But she would rather keep getting stood up by, Long Stick Rick, Heartthrob Rob, Long John Ron, All Night Mike. She would rather keep getting played by these guys than date somebody in her league. Think about how crazy that is. And that's when all the empathy and sympathy just leaves my body.
Most girls won't admit this, but for your sake, I will. I hate nice guys.
And if you were to get a guy who's perfect for you on every level and you knew with 0% chance of him cheating on you, there you go, she just said it.
This is probably a calculated plan that all the top tier dudes do. Stand her up once, don't respond to texts for a whole day, like get her right where you want her, and then you can hit her up one night and do a one-night stand. When you got her right where you want her. It's sad that they keep going for it, though. So once again, can't feel bad.
If I want to double text you, I'm going to double text you, okay? That's how I talk. So, my double text I was like, work is so slow today. Nothing. Starting to get worried as it comes to the end of the day and my end of my shift approaches. So around 5:15, I text him and I was like...
So wait, is that a quadruple text? And ma'am, you have a potty mouth. Usually men don't like women who curse like sailors. I mean, it's just a tip. So I've already pointed out a couple things that you're doing wrong. This is probably why you keep getting ghosted. Well... it's many reasons, but this isn't helping your case.
It's painfully obvious. Now there seems to be a theme here. You couldn't die alone.
If you look like trash, you use profanity like you're trash, people are probably going to treat you like trash.
Hey, just to confirm, we're still on for tonight. Nothing. Text him again around 5:30. I was like, hey, just let me know by 6:20, 6:30, because that's when I'm going to start getting ready.
Okay, now I'm starting to be a little sad for you, because this is just past desperate. So you text this man 8 times without getting a response? He probably wasn't even going to ghost you, but after that, he's like, nah, man, I'm in a meeting. She keep texting me. I'm cool on this bitch.
It's enough to make you go crazy.
If, we're still on. Finally hear from him 10 minutes before my shift ends at 5:50, and he's like, and he said, and I quote, we are definitely still on, with a smiley face emoji.
That even sounds sarcastic. That almost just sounds like he's definitely not coming. She should know the signs by now.
Great. I'm fine now. I'm chill. No big deal. Go home. Start getting ready. Text him around 6:51 because he's supposed to get... Oh, when I texted him after you said we're definitely still on, I was like, great. Do you need my address? Because he was going to pick me up. And no reply. text him around 6:51 because I realized I was running late, and I was like, hey, if you do need to push it till 8 o'clock, no big deal. I'm like, whatever. Or if you want me to just meet you at the restaurant, just let me know. No big deal.
Look, you know this guy had movie star good looks. Women do not do all this for average men. And she is going extra hard, being extra, extra, extra thirsty. So this guy might have been a 9, and she's a 6. And she wonder why she keep getting ghosted. Do you think she would date a chubby dude who dressed like he 14? I don't think so.
It's getting closer. It's 7:30 at this point. I'm like, he hasn't responded. And so I sent him a question mark. And it wasn't delivered. Every text after that wasn't delivered. Went on Bumble to look at our match. It was deleted. When my friends called him and then hung up, it rang. When I called him, straight to voicemail.
You doing all this, man? You getting friends to call him and check his Bumble, and you doing emails. It's not that serious.
God, you're sick.
If she put 1/10 of this effort into the average Joe, she'd be happily married right now. With kids and all that.
This dude confirmed my date, then fucking blocked me and ghosted me. I was standing fully ready. All I had to do was pick out my earrings, my purse, and my perfume. I have never in my life been stood up after being confirmed an hour and a half prior.
Sensational.
You shouldn't say that about a woman. Why can't you say women are wrong when they're wrong?
You want to be making moves on the street, have no attachments, allow nothing to be in your life that you cannot walk out on in 30 seconds flat.
Okay, first of all, I didn't miss the red flags. I looked at them and thought, damn, that's sexy. And that's my problem.